Stand 21 racewear company, and they just celebrated here shortly ago 50 years in business, and Yves is especially proud of that. Go ahead. And Yves especially proud of that because it's been his business, family-owned business, and now with his two sons, carrying it forward to the years ahead. But looking back, and they will come on stage here, Romain and Christopher. Looking back at that, Yves went through a lot of memories, which he'll share some of which with you today, and he put out a book, which you may have seen here today, with these 50 years and all the people he's interfaced with, a lot of Formula One drivers and a lot of stories to tell. He'll tell a few of those here. The rest are in the book. The book is for sale, but the proceeds, the profits go to the foundation. It's not going into Yves' pocket. No. So with that, Yves, take over.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I'm proud. 50 years, 52 years, because normally it should be 2 years ago. And because of COVID, we have to stop. We were ready to make a big party in Dijon with about 50, 60 old Formula One. It was 60, 80 old Formula One driver, some very well known like Fittipaldi, Piquet, people like that. But COVID came, stopped everything. And now, Romain pushed me to say, okay, now it's 50 years over. It's time to retire. Not to, don't tell me like that, but because I just turned 75, and it's time to have better time. I said, okay. He told me, why you don't write a book? Why a book? He told me, because you have so many stories. You give us so many stories. I said, yes. Why a book? And I was explaining my passion for safety, my passion for racing. But I start my life, at 16 years old, I was a baker. All the French are baker, you know. And I was a baker. I was making $10 per month and working 54 hours per month. No, 54 hours per week. That's you know, if you told some today to people, they will look at you and say, you are crazy. Yes, we were crazy. Okay, let's take some picture of my book just to, on 3-4 times, but you have to understand something. Every time in my life, I want to go to find new idea and dedicate something. And really, in the beginning, I was touched by the Emerson Fittipaldi crash in '69, and that gave me the first idea. And after a second crash here in 1970, I was on the side of the track in Formula 3. He was a young driver, Jean-Pierre Casgrain. I was helping, and the guy lost his hand, about like you, Mike. Okay, and he was ready to go in the Lotus, and he lost everything because of that. And you know, he finished to be a banker and make a lot of money. It shows sometimes. Let everything may happen. Pardon. Okay, let's do like that. Okay, and I just show, you know, that when I see that, I said, oh la la, we have to do something. At this time, the racing suit was in 2 pieces, 1 layers, and it was a catastrophe. And I started to work immediately to develop products, because in the 70s, it was, like was telling Jackie Stewart, sex was very, very safe, racing very dangerous. And today, in 2020, sex is not very safe, and racing is less dangerous. Okay, that's my first shop, 300 square feet, and starting with no money. And I was cleaning the window on the people in the street. Next. After, immediately I developed new racing suits, starting to make some money. And I meet a lot of Formula One driver, young driver, old driver, you know. It's a chance because these people, they were very interesting by safety. And at this time, in a contract between 1970 and 1986, it was no standard, no FIA, no SFI, nothing. The Formula One driver was putting in their contract, I want a stunt 21 overall. And during 75 till 90, we were covering about 80–90% of the Formula One. After came the other company, because at this time it was just Simpson in America and us in Europe. But after came the Italian company with marketing, different, don't have the same, they were not looking like me, the safety. Okay, here you can see with, when I developed the outsing glove, now everybody has the outsing gloves. That's the first outsing glove. And with the young kids was Ayrton Senna. And me with a cap. Okay, ça va. That's a fabulous story, you know. The 4 guy in a barrier, I think it was Portugal, 87. You have 12 title, 11 title, 3, 7, 8, 11 title on a barrier, you know. And everybody was wearing stunt 21. Look at on a belt, and Ayrton was on a left arms. Look at the shoes. Next. Here, we lost in 81, we lost a friend the Saturday at 1:55. Gilles Villeneuve was killed in Zolder. And I was with Lafitte, and Jacques was crying, you know, and he told me, "How come we go to the golf course together to play? I want to, Gilles is dead, and please come with me." And we came on a golf course. He said, "Why we don't have a golf course together?" I said, make business in safety, but I cannot do that. And after 6 months, we found a golf course, and we bought a golf course. And we were partner with Jacques, Alain, and the third guy here is Patrick Tambay, who was racing for Ferrari. It's just a story, you know. We run the golf course I run the golf course 14 years, plus stunt 21, plus building, you know. I was working so much that it's just a part of my life. Look at in America, we won, I think, 8 times 500 Indy. Here you have the 3 on a podium: Alan Sir, Jacques Villeneuve, Emerson. Everybody was with the Formula One equipment. Just to show that I have a big interest in your country. And 79, 80, and a friend of mine, Philippe de Lespinay, was helping me here in America. It was a very good time because I discovered in your country a lot of new way of thinking and a different approach of racing. And I love your approach, you know. I love when I talk to you, Ron, when I come on a salt, for me is the best place on earth, you know. When I go to the bar, you know, Jim, I love to go to the bar. 1 month ago, I was with Roger at his home, talking bar. And I love also drag racing. I discovered drag racing because one day they called me, it was in 2007, said, "We have too many deaths in our sport. Please help us." He was Larry Dixon, he was Don Taylor, pushed me to come in a drag racing. The first one was you, Don. That's your fault if we are successful in drag racing. And we develop products with them, you know, and just all that. Never our thinking when I come in a sold or I will never think I will make money. I think we have to help these people, and if it's work, there will be customers. But because if we take care of them, they will absolutely come back to us. Like Mike, we know each other for years. You know, I know you have a passion for Porsche, for all these sort of cars. And you are in a medical, and you know what is, we have a very good relationship. I don't talk on you, Jacques. It's too many stories together. Next. And you know, I discovered also in 83, 84, the problem with the stress. Stress because when you sweat too much, it was my idea to see on a big boat, you know, the US, the army boat, the guy has to sweat because it's hot in some place. And it's how I discovered, and we were making tests with the French army to measure the heartbeat, the blood pressure, and we were medically measure all that. That's why we come with the products with stretching, and we are still the only one in the world to use, because to manufacture this product is very, very expensive. Yeah, you can say we were measuring everything with independent subject. You know, it was we were working a lot, and I was the two first guy to drive this car. These suits with these suits was Ayrton and Alain Prost. Also, I'm proud. I'm French, you know, but we have Renault, Peugeot, Citroën who race around the world. We are not partner with these people because they want to have marketing, cheap marketing. But we work with Porsche around the world for now. We have a license for more to 25 years. And you know, when it's Porsche, I look like we look like in our family, and we are in our family, because they really want their customer safe. And here in drag racing, you know, some crazy people. One of my body, Jim Head over there, I was a top funny car, you know, and he makes the decoration of the funny car with the racing goes safer, just for fun. It was my surprise. It was in Indy, and he said, "Hey, come, I have something for you." And he was the covering of the car was with the racing goes safer. It shows we create a very friendly relationship with people in drag racing, like in off-road, like in salt. Next. Okay. 10,000 horsepower. It's Daryl Warsham came 2-time champion with our products, one time in Top Fuel, one time in Funny Car. Very good story with these people. And the last but not the least, Ron. 500 miles per hour, not 430, 440, something like that, I don't know exactly. And one day, I remember I was on a salt, you came with a small ticket, and you give me, that's for you. And it was the paper of, the official paper for the speed. And you know, to come back on the last one, the picture before, if you can see the markers of the quarter of miles were stand 21 marker. Imagine a French company who live in the middle of wine country, and they are in a salt with friends, and we have the marker. Thank you, Juan. It was your idea. That's the family, the Score family, off-road family. Look at the old guy on the right is Sal Fish with his wife, Barbara. And on the left side is Roger. And they are beautiful people, beautiful people. Next October, I will have a rally in Portugal. And Sal asked me to be my co-driver. Just good people with big heart and good education. And I know they did a lot of improvement for the safety, because Baja is not a game. You're not on a racetrack with 2 or 3 miles racetrack, you know. You have 1,000 miles. There is no firemen, and in the night it's tough. Here, it's maybe, you know, the gentleman is a drummer from Pink Floyd drummer. What's his name? Nick Mason. And he play drums with 121 shoes. And he's completely fine with racing. And I think he was racing 3 times the 24 Le Mans in a 2-liter engine, I think 3 times or 4 times. And he has a big car collection. Here, It's my buddy Jim Downing, when he was asking me to take the license for the hounds, because it was a big difficulty here to produce the hounds and and to promote the hounds. And we share together the mold, share together a lot of things. And today, we are the biggest manufacturer in the world with the hounds. I think last year we sold 13,000, something like that. And we came with a very low price. You cannot come in America with this one. But in Europe, we have one is $270, something like that, with the standard. And we have also the top level, because we developed the model for all the Formula One and a lot of customers. The name is Featherlight. You are the lightest, strongest, the best in the world. Next. That's the first hound. We were talking before with Tony. Next. And here it was the first plantation in Birmingham. Look at, I send 400, we send 400 invitations. We get 7 peoples. Jim Downing, Terry Trummell, Sid Watkins, and the guy on the left of the guy from the medical guy from the Germany. He said, 400 send. I was make a reservation like here for 200 people, 7 people. But that's how Sid Watkins took the decision for next week, it will be in Formula One. And the week we came to Barcelona and we test over there with Jim and Bob. Bob Hubbard came and we were fitting the car and everybody was again, everybody. Jacques Villeneuve was really bad, etc. And 2 weeks later, they were racing in Brazil, and Alonso get a huge crash, and he came out of the car and said, "Without this sheet, I will not be here." And everybody after. And you cannot imagine today. Imagine it was 20 years ago, less to 20. It was 19 years ago. You cannot imagine today a Formula One driver jumping in his car with his helmet, and the crew chief said, "Oh, I forgot your hands. You will have tomorrow." And they said, "In this case, I don't drive my car." But you help us a lot, the SCTR, to be on assault. And Roy Creel told me last year, that 2 years ago, that you have no more deaths by basic skull fracture from you wear the hands. And same thing with Roger. We put in score. It was not easy at the beginning because everybody think it's different. But it shows something. If the people don't, is no rules. If you say you have to wear, the people don't wear. Next. Okay, with Jim 2 years ago. That shows that we're still friends. And it's a beautiful story. You will see in my book all these stories are inside. Not all because it's too many, but some. And look at today the hands look at Verstappen and Leclerc, Charles Leclerc. And they pay, and everybody pays the hands in my company. And they keep the brand on the hands. And here, the last but not the least, the foundation. We create a foundation. And why we create a foundation? Because I was thinking it's 2 ways to promote a product. One is you buy advertising in book, or you make presentation and you push the product through all of that. And we decide to do this process, and you are here for that. Sometimes see 100 people. Today is 40, 50 people, and we are on a webinar, which is also a good thing. And we will, I think it's not a lot of way. Like I was talking to me and to all these people are not involved in racing. When you race, you don't think you need safety, except people. Mike, you have the best example. You are really. And Romain Grosjean, you have seen a Romain Grosjean message. It's just when I called Romain, I said, "Romain, can you help me for the to say?" He was 1/10 of a second. He told me yes. And he sent me yesterday, after our visit, he sent me a texto, said, hey, thank you to come. Thank you to visit us. I'm busy in a weekend, but I will see you. And Romain was his first suits when he was racing in go-kart in Switzerland. He was a stunt 21 suits. It's not, it's you over there. You are in a picture. Why are you younger now? Look at, we have very well-known people who came to this. Here you have Brian Rainman on left, Danny Sullivan, and Dale Warsham. Everybody, Brian Rainman winning Le Mans, winning a lot of race, winning the Can-Am, and everybody knows Danny because of Ray-Ban advertising. Oh, shit, no. No, because he was a great driver. And Dale Warsham, like I explained you, won the Top Fuel and Funny Car series. And that's, Steve Alvey, who gets the first award we did for what he has accomplished in his life. And with a very important person is done. Without you, it will not be possible. And you are a part of my life, our life, and you are really a part of the book. You will see all that in the book. I'm not here for sale, I promise you, but it's just to promote safety and to me, it's my baby, the foundation. It's really, I love the foundation. Look at one more foundation movie with okay. Charity. Oh yeah, excuse me. This one is not a movie. In France, we have a charity because I love what? Well, it's a golf. Yeah, sure. It's a golf tournament charity. Oh, thank you. I need my backpack. I need my sons. It's also important. Now in France we have, it's a lot of not a lot. It's too many people who get kids with problem, and every year is two way. You give some money to some company or something, or we organize a golf tournament with very big champion, race car champion, with 20 support with the pilot, the driver, Le Mans driver, with all of that, and we organize and we put money and we choose a family who get a problem with the kids, and we give them money to the kids. Last time it was a small girl with a malady, Brett. This is Brett. She has no vertebral column. She cannot talk. She cannot have. And his parents' dream was to have something to communicate with her because she cannot talk. And we found we bought a computer. She can talk with with the eyes. And it's so important for the parents. 300 around the years they have the baby. Of one evening they are the hero. They have the hero of the evening. You have everybody applause, and it's really it touched our heart. And here he was here some minutes ago. It's Jimmy Callion, the person who runs the show, completely crazy person. He will race Le Mans this year, the road to Le Mans, and not the Porsche Cup, but in Le Mans, but on a real racetrack. He was so happy. He told me, hey, I will be in Le Mans. Yeah, you'll be there. But thank you to Jim. Thank you to all of you to be here. And now, c'est la vie. Thank you.
Thank you, Yves.